Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're going to be talking about the fact that Javonte Green just signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Shams Charania just reported that our boy Javonte Green has agreed to a contract buyout and intends to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this is a great fit. He was a guy that we thought was going to get potentially traded at the deadline, and it ended up not happening. And as a result, he goes to a contender, the best team in the East, through 50 games with the Pelicans this season. This is a guy who's averaged 22 minutes a night, 6 points a game, 44% from the field, 35% from three, 3.5 rebounds, an assist a night, a steal a game, and about half a block. And this is a hustle, nonstop motor, multi-positional defender who's a machine when it comes to attacking in transition, and he just attacks the basket. He'll be a guy who will get in the passing lanes and finish with a dunk or go out to the corner and be able to hit the spot up open three. And even on the defensive side, he's a guy who's going to guard those passing lanes, a guy who's going to be able to play inside and out, guard forwards and guards and wings. And as an off-ball shooter and cutter, he'll finish in traffic, capable to hit the three ball. And to me, there isn't much of a better player for a team like the Cavaliers to get themselves at this point. As the Cavaliers, if you guys haven't been following this season under Kenny Atkinson, they're 44-10, first in the NBA Eastern Conference, second best points per game. They're 11th in opponents' points per game, 6th in pace, while having the number one offensive rating, 8th best defensive rating. And Dean Wade had a bone bruise diagnosis about 3 weeks ago. We were told by Chris Fedor, Cleveland playing dealer, that there's going to be a multi-week recovery. And Okoro was allegedly going to come back from that shoulder injury post All-Star break. Sam Amico reported of the Hoops Wire, and we knew Ty Jerome was dealing with a calf thing. So getting a guy like Javonte Green is huge. DeMarre Carroll's on the staff, and I think DeMarre Carroll is going to love himself Javonte. And this team actually is 23rd in 2-point attempts, while being second in 3-point makes, second in field goal percentage, second in points. So he's going to be a guy who is going to get them more efficient shots. A team that on the perimeter, they're a great interior team, albeit their steals and blocks might, if you look into their stats, might not be like jumping off the page. However, to me, that's something you shouldn't really worry about. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to come in and contribute immediately, due to the fact that when you have a team like the Cavs that, let's be honest, outside of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, I guess Craig Porter, Max Strus 6'6", DeAndre Hunter 6'7". I guess disregard Luke Travers and Jalen Tyson because they don't really play and they won't play in the playoffs. But he'll be a guy who'll join the rotation next to Isaac Okoro, Sam Merrill, Ty Jerome. And DeAndre Hunter had 25 minutes in his first game. So far, Jalen Tyson's playing like 10 minutes, and I assume immediately he'll be taking Jalen Tyson's minutes away. And they did trade away George Niang, so those are minutes that will go to Phil. I think he's a great fit for a team that needed some energy like him off the bench. I really think he'll be the type of guy that, if you're trying to win, when you're trying to have energy, he just fits the style that they needed from someone to be off their bench. And to me, I think that's the biggest thing when you looked at this situation, because they're a team that clearly years past have sometimes that, I don't know, sometimes I feel like they've undercut themselves or they've under executed in the playoffs due to a lack of energy. We remember what happened to Jared Allen when Mitchell Robinson made him his son. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen again. I'm just saying that it's just something to think about. So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys think about this? If you're a fan of the Cavaliers, do you think he'll be able to alleviate any of the concerns you might have had? I don't think there's like a ton of things to be worried about. I really do think this is going to be a showdown between the Cavs and the Celtics. Maybe you have the possibility of a Cavs-Knicks but yeah, I think it's a pretty straight path for you guys to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And getting a guy like Javonte Green is going to be huge in the playoffs when the minutes get longer in the fourth quarter, everybody's tired, and you can throw in Javonte Green to help, first off, be a fresh breath air for your starters, as well as being a reliever for one of them. So to me, when you look at the situation, I think Kenny Atkinson's the best coach in terms of play design for Javonte Green to have gone to. I think I'm just more surprised that this had happened because I honestly was not expecting at this point for him. I thought he was just going to keep cooking and just take this opportunity that he's had with the Pelicans and parlay it into a deal with the mid-level exception on a team in the offseason. But this could be even better because not only is he going to parlay into something, but he could have a deep playoff run, which obviously would be good for not only his career, but for the Pelicans, as they just bought him out. But I think in the offseason, the Pelicans could be kind of a place where maybe guys who are similar to Javonte Green, and they saw, hey, first off, this is a team that has goodwill, that maybe I've been down on my luck and it hasn't worked out, and I know the Pelicans organization is going to do right by me and put me in a position to succeed. And even if they can't trade me, it seems like if everything's amendable, if we can come to terms, they'll let me walk. And I wonder if they did some things where he just gave up the money because he was going to get the rest of the money prorated from the Cavs. So that's the one I want to know. And what did you guys think? Did you guys agree with me that, like, I really do think this is kind of like a cool thing that you could do? Like, I honestly didn't think that they'd do something like this. Like, it's just a really goodwill thing to do. And most of the time, the joke is always like, teams are petty. Let me hear your thoughts.